They sell him as a slave. The brothers take their money. They take Joseph's coat. They dip Joseph's coat in sheep's blood, and then they bring it home to their dad, Israel, and they say, hey, Dad, real sorry. Joseph got attacked and eaten by an animal, and here's his coat covered in blood to prove it.
That is so fucked up. It's fucked up. So fucked up. It is just so damn fucked up. That's fucked up.
Hey. Hi. Good morning. It's one of those mornings. This is a new t-shirt.
You pointed out that I had 2 recording shirts and it embarrassed me. So I started varying the shirts that I wear to bed.
Oh, so then you could wake up, get out of bed, and be in a new shirt.
Yes.
That makes sense.
That's kind of weird.
You plan your bedtime outfits so that you can not see me in the same shirt every day.
So that I can impress you in the morning. Mm-hmm. So I can be like, hey, look, this shirt says MTV, not weed makes me happy, or whatever that other one says.
Something like that. Yeah.
It says find your happy, and there's a weed leaf on it.
Yes, that's what it is.
But this show is about nothing that we have mentioned thus far, I'm pretty sure.
No.
It's
not about your shirt.
No, it's not so fucked up.
It is.
My balls dropped again. Peter Brady. It's Not So Fucked Up, a podcast about cults, murder, and other generally fucked up stuff. You know who we are, but we'll just remind you in case you
forgot what you pay for.
This is Patreon. If you
Patreon
don't know
exclusive.
Who we are,
yeah, you might be the most generous person around.
You're the most generous person around. Also, if you forgot who we are,
then go see a doctor.
Maybe go check in with a professional.
Yeah. Yeah, if you just didn't know and you just went eeny, meeny, miny, that's so fucked up when you decided you wanted to start supporting a podcast on Patreon, that'd be cool.
And then that was your first episode ever.
You're like, oh, what's this Ash Michelle do the Bible thing?
Cheers to you if you did that. That's
like
crazy
you,
talk.
Man, but you're crazy.
And that's you.
So, who we are. I'm Ashley Richards.
And I'm Michelle Mosher.
Stop it. And we said what the podcast was.
Yep, you did that part. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they know. They're here. So, you know what, Michelle? I think you should sing your song.
Let's get biblical. I wanna get biblical. Get into the Bible, yeah. Let me hear your Jesus talk.
Yeah, your Jesus talk.
Let me hear your Jesus talk.
Let me hear your Jesus talk.
What's funny about that is we're still so far from Jesus. We're not even close to Jesus yet. Jesus. It's Jesus. Jesus.
My voice is kind of going in and out.
Yeah, you got a little something happening in there.
I have a little something happening. Did you wake up to snow outside of your windows?
That's pretty fucking weird since yesterday it was almost 70 degrees.
Yeah, are you kidding me? I woke up and I was like, what the shit happened?
I was wearing flip-flops yesterday.
You were. I saw you.
But remember I told you that the signs all said snow. I told you.
Yes, you did. You were my winter advisory.
That's true. I was like, hey, Ashley, be prepared for snow tomorrow. And then you woke up, you looked outside, you're like, what the shit? So clearly you were not prepared for snow.
And you were like, yeah,
warning.
I told you. Mm-hmm.
Told you so. I told you snow.
Oh, that was good.
Thank you.
Can't hold it back any snow.
Let it go. Let it snow.
Let it go. Turn away and talk about the Bible. I don't care what those pages say. I'm gonna hear Michelle's word. The Bible never made sense anyway.
Wow. You wrote that one around, actually. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice. All right. So in our last episode, we talked about Sodom and Gomorrah and Lot and his family and the angels. All the men in Sodom wanted to, quote unquote, know, and how Lot was like, have my virgin daughters instead. And you may remember
Emily M. She sent such a funny video. It's 4 minutes, and this other guy doing a very kind of similar explanation of Sodom and Gomorrah. He's like, yeah, so he disguised disguised a couple angels as super sexy dudes.
Classic.
Yeah, because that's kind of what you said too. You were just like, they were like super hot. And
Super
like
hot
Lot
angels.
was like, look, you guys, you can't fuck my mysterious model angel guests, but you can do whatever the fuck you want to my virgin daughters. Anything.
Anything. They are all yours.
And they're like, give us the angels. We want to fuck them in the ass. It was wild, you guys. You should go back and listen if you did not. Spoilies, I mean, I guess. Well, no, that's not the whole story. That's far from it.
There's so many other things. But you might also remember our guy Abraham and his wife Sarah, and how they had kids when they were like 90 something, and they did the first circumcision when he was like in his 90s.
And Abraham was the one whose wife was super hot, so he pretended like it was his sister, right? And then the Pharaoh fucked her.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you remember that, because that's where we start our news story today.
Fucking nailed it, dude.
Yeah. So Abraham's still traveling around the desert. This isn't a super important part of the story, but I just think it's funny that he keeps doing this. So, Abraham is wandering around, moves his family, and he goes to this country, and King Abimelech, he's like, oh shit, Sarah, remember how you're super hot? Mind you, they're like 100 and something at this point, I think. So I don't know why. You know what? Maybe everyone was 100 and something. And also, I'm not old shaming. Like 100 and somethings can still be hot too. It's just I wouldn't be that worried. You know what? I don't know. I don't want to dig myself a hole if we have any 100+ year old listeners.
Yeah. Have you seen, who the fuck was it? I think it was Giselle or Heidi Klum, or one of them is like 70, probably 60, but they look like they're like 19. I don't know. I just saw a picture the other day and I was like, that's insane.
It is how these people are. And by these people, I mean rich people who have access to amazing skincare regimens and treatments and chemicals and whatnot. And who got famous because they were beautiful, because Giselle's literally a model. So like, of course she looks beautiful at any age, but she probably also has some help.
Maybe this Sarah was like Giselle. She just never aged.
She was the Giselle of the Old Testament.
Totally. And Abraham was Tom Brady.
And Abraham's, oh God.
They're married, right?
Oh, Giselle and Tom Brady, they're divorced now.
Oh, okay.
I think like last year. Sorry, Tom. Then people said that Tom Brady got bad at football after they got divorced because Giselle's a witch and she took her witchcraft powers away.
Stop it.
Yeah, that's the thing people said.
Who said that?
Just like
Were they
people.
joking?
Like, mostly, but I bet some people were serious. For every like 5 people that think something's ridiculous, there's like one person who's like, well, maybe. Okay. So we've gotten one sentence in.
Okay, sorry. I zip it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm so sorry.
I know. It's Tom Brady. Gets you every time.
I know. He just gets me going.
He gets you going. Gets the people going. It's provocative.
He's provocative. We don't know why.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, Sarah, we're going to do the whole brother-sister thing again because I don't want them to kill me and take you. And so Abimelech, he's like, oh, you know what? This Sarah lady, I'm going to take her. She's going to be mine now.
Who's Abimelech?
So Abraham and Sarah travel to Gerar. Abimelech is the king of Gerar.
Those are scary sounding names. Abimelech.
So I guess Abraham had every right to be worried because Abimelech saw Sarah and was like, hey, she's mine now. So.
And women were just property like that back in the day.
Yeah. So God comes to Abimelech and he goes, hey, that lady that you just took from that guy, she's his wife. He's like my blessed one, and I'm on his side. You can't just go taking his wife. You're a dead man. You know, Abimelech is like, okay, God, here's the thing. 1, I thought she was his sister. That is specifically what I was told. 2, please don't murder me. I didn't mean to do it.
I feel like there's like a lack of communication. Why didn't God just say, give the sister act up? Seraphim.
I love that movie. So,
but why didn't he just say, hey, dude, don't worry. I won't let people take Sarah. So you can just like be her husband now that she's fucking 100.
Because now God gets to kill someone.
He loves smiting.
He does love to smote. But it's okay because then Abimelech says, hey, God, chill. I didn't know. Really sorry. You went from 0 to 100 real fast. And God's like, you know what? You're right. I actually probably don't need to kill you for this. It's all good. Just take her back. Also, if you hurt her or Abraham, I kill you and everyone in your kingdom.
And everyone in your kingdom. I mean, that's... What'd they do?
You and everyone. Yeah. If you don't do this, you're all dead. So Abimelech is like, dude, okay, fine. Like, so bring Sarah back to Abraham. He's all pissy. He's like, why did you lie to me? Because you pretty much told me that she was your wife and now he wants to kill me and, everyone in the kingdom. And Abraham said he was worried that, hey, I thought you were going to kill me and take Sarah as your wife. Also, this is where we get the fun revelation that not only is Sarah Abraham's wife, but actually, technically, she is my half sister. So I didn't lie. I just didn't tell you the whole truth.
Wait, hold the phone. Sarah and Abraham are half siblings.
Sarah is Abraham's half sister. Yes.
Why is everything incest in this book? I feel like there's been an incest story in every episode.
Pretty much. Here's just another one. I know there's maybe weren't that many people.
No, well, that we did talk about that. We're like, how are these tiny groups of people repopulating the earth? So it's like, I guess
this is how.
You know what? I bet the song John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith is made about incest because it's like it's his name, it's your name, it's my name. It's, the Jacob Jingleheimer Smith name, Ashley Jacob Jingleheimer Smith, Michelle Jacob Jingleheimer Smith. It's a song about how we're all related because everybody fucked each other in the Bible.
Well, okay, step one, I've always heard it as John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, but maybe there are different versions. Step two,
I think it is Schmidt.
I think you're reading into this too far, but I'm going to let you keep rocking and rolling with that.
I don't know. I think I just discovered something, but you go on.
I'll go. Abimelech brings Sarah back along with a bunch of oxen and sheep and servants and handmaids. And he's like, I'm sorry. Here's your wife. Here's a bunch of stuff. Take whatever you want. Just please tell God that we are good now. So Abraham prays to God and is like, hey, we're good. Thank you. And
real quick, I love how handmaidens was thrown in with sheep and stuff.
And handmaidens.
And women slaves,
Yeah.
The usual.
Yeah. So God hears that. God goes, okay, cool, we're good. And heals all the women in Gerar because apparently as a little extra insurance, he had made them all barren.
When he was not feeling chill with the dude.
Mm-hmm. He was like, all right. He's like, I'm not going to kill you. I'm not going to kill everyone yet. But no one's having any babies until I see that Abraham and Sarah are back together.
I was going to say, so he punished all the women, but it sounds like he cut them all a fucking break for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, here, just chill on the.
I'd be like, I can't get pregnant? Fuck yes.
Yeah, but they didn't know. They knew. They could have just been out there just having a great time. Here
you don't know until you know.
And then you find out and you're like, damn it. So do you remember that Abraham, before he and Sarah were able to have Isaac, he slept with one of Sarah's maids and they had their son Ishmael? You remember that guy?
I remember Ishmael.
I'll give you a little, before. God was like, Abraham, your descendants are going to be tons. There's going to be as many grains of sand and stars in the sky. And Abraham goes, that's cool, but my wife can't have babies. And God says, that's okay. She's got this maid Hagar. You guys do it and then you'll have a baby. And then that's how we'll fix this. And then they did.
Right.
And then.
Okay, so Hagar and Abraham had Ishmael.
Yep.
Because Sarah was barren.
But then God made Sarah unbarren and then they had Isaac.
At 90.
Yep. This is where biblically the split between Islam and Judaism come from.
Oh, fun.
Yes. So Sarah, she sees Hagar and Ishmael walking around and she's got little baby Isaac and she's looking at, essentially the woman that her husband slept with and had a baby with, and they're all just hanging out in the city. So Sarah says, Abraham, look, you got to get rid of them. So
I don't like that. That feels like some second family bullshit. Cut it out.
Cut it out. So Abraham talks to God, a little worried about it, and God says, don't worry, I'll take care of them. Ishmael's going to have his own great nation, which we believe is then the Nation of Islam. And so sends them on their way.
Oh, okay.
But Abraham doesn't tell Hagar that God's got her back. He just gives her some water and stuff and sends her out to wander in the wilderness of, and wait for it because I think you're going to like this name, Beersheba.
Beersheba?
Beersheba, which reminds me of Beelzebub. It's like a combination of your favorite things.
Bathsheba.
And Beelzebub. Beersheba.
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub.
There's so many.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything.
I do like that. You're right.
Yeah, I thought you would.
Let me just get this straight.
Yep.
Hagar has Ishmael with Abraham.
Yep.
Ishmael gets his own great kingdom, and that's where Islam splits off.
Yes, this is where we believe that the religions branch. Who we believe God's covenant is through.
Okay, I really love learning that kind of stuff because it's like, if y'all are reading from the same book, why are you fighting? So last week when we were talking about a Judeo-Christian American society, I think we were talking about it in the Jesus Camp Borb, actually.
That sounds correct.
And I was like, yeah, totally, Judeo-Christian. And it did not flash. I don't know why, but in my head the other day, I was like, does Judeo-Christian mean like Jewish/Christian? And I text you and you were like, yes, Ashley. Yes, it does. And I was like, totally. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know what I thought it meant. It was just like,
it's fine.
I had this random revelation, if you will.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think God sent it to me.
He sent you a vision and a dream.
A revelation.
A revelation from God. Okay, so Abraham sends Hagar and Ishmael out, doesn't tell him anything, just is like, here's some water, go find somewhere else to live. Hagar is walking around.
He doesn't say, hey, go make a kingdom, Ishmael?
No. Doesn't tell her, hey, you're going to be good. God's got you. Ishmael has like a whole nation's going to be blessed out from under him.
Dude, God plays some fucking mind games.
Yeah. Well, and Abraham could have told Hagar, but yes, God's about to play a big old mind game because Hagar's wandering the wilderness, runs out of water. She's got her baby, and she basically goes, all right, well, me and my baby are going to die. And he's probably going to die first. I don't want to watch that happen. So I'm going to set him under this shrubbery and walk away.
Was this Ishmael or a new baby?
This is Ishmael. So she sets Ishmael under like a tree or a bush or a shrub, just some sort of greenery. And she
to let him die on his own.
To let him die so that she doesn't have to watch it happen. And she starts crying, and then God goes, Hagar, what are you doing? Open your eyes. And there's a well and wilderness and this land for her and Ishmael to live in and grow strong in. And
was he like, and P.S., what were you doing with Ishmael? What was happening here? He didn't question that?
God does this thing where he just gets people real close to death sometimes. And he goes, what are you fucking doing? You're fine. You're fine.
He wasn't like, hey, you're in trouble because you were about to murder Ishmael. He didn't notice.
Yeah, he just dropped a well there. He's like, why are you crying? There's a well right there. Didn't you see it? Didn't you see the well?
It's going to be fun. Oh,
it's going to be fine. You're fine. She's obviously hysterical. She didn't even see the well in the wilderness around her. Speaking of God pulling some bullshit. So meanwhile, we're back with our homie Abraham, and God tells Abraham, look, I know that we've been through this whole father-son drama time and time again. I know that, first I gave you Ishmael, and then I gave you Isaac through Sarah, and now you just sent Ishmael away. But here's the thing. In order for me to really know that you're super loyal to me, I'm gonna need you to take Isaac and sacrifice him to me.
Dude, why did I feel like a baby killing was coming up? I felt it.
Yeah.
I could feel it.
And at this point, it's been a little while. Let me see if I can find how old Isaac is.
Wait, wasn't he 13 when he cut the tip of his dick off?
Yeah. So here's where the timelines get weird, because it definitely, if Hagar's taking baby Ishmael and rolling him under a tree to die, it would make no sense if he's 13 years old by that point. 13-year-old, you're you just die here now. Mom, I'm thirsty. Can we go find water? No, you're gonna lay under this tree.
Mom, I hate you. This fucking suck.
Yeah, that's pretty funny, actually, now that I think about that. The timeline's a little weird, but it's the Bible. Put your questions on the shelf. Yeah, God says, okay, take Isaac. I know you love him, but sacrifice him to me. So Abraham gets 2 of their servants, and they get the donkeys ready with wood, and they're going to do a burnt offering. And so they get up.
They were going to burn him to death? Is that what that means?
Yeah.
That's sounds painful.
Yeah.
Where's Sarah in all this? She was like, did you legit just make me have a fucking baby when I was 100 and then take it away from me?
I'm sure she wasn't looped into this plan. She's a woman.
Okay. Oh, she's a woman. Why?
She was a woman.
Yeah.
So they start traveling to the place that God told Abraham to do the sacrifice. And at some point, Abraham says to his 2 servants, hey, y'all don't need to come with us anymore. You just hang out here and we'll be back in a little bit. And they're like, okay. And so So Abraham and Isaac keep going. At one point, Isaac's looking and he goes, I know we have like the wood and the stuff to start a fire and the knife. Doesn't look like we have a lamb or anything to sacrifice. Usually when we do this sacrifice thing, we have
like at least a virgin or something.
Yeah, he's like usually like an animal. And Abraham's like, don't worry, son, God will provide one. And so it's like, okay, sounds good. So they get up there, they build the altar, and
when you say up there, I'm guessing like on the top of a mountain.
I mean, I think we always picture it as the top of a mountain, but I think it just says the far off place that God had told Abraham. I just always pictured it as like they're going up a hill.
At least a hill.
Like running up that hill.
They're running up that hill. Running up that mountain.
So they get there, Abraham builds an altar and not really telling Isaac anything, ties Isaac to the altar. And I'm sure Isaac's just sitting there like, Dad, this seems like a good time for God to give us that lamb or whatever that we were going to sacrifice to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is getting spooky, Dad.
It's pretty weird. You don't usually do this part when we do the offering thing.
You know what he said to his dad, Michelle?
What?
Hey, Dad, there's nothing spookier than being lied to.
He did say that, I bet.
Call back to the fucking Valentine's Day episode. Or Halloween? Fuck, I don't even know.
Catfish. It was right before Halloween.
Catfish.
And it was a catfish. And there's nothing spookier than being lied to. I stand by that sentiment.
Abraham was being spooky as fuck.
Spooky as fuck. Abraham literally gets to the point where Isaac's tied to the altar and Abraham's got the knife in the air about to slit his throat before burning him as a sacrifice to God. A hand in the air and God pops in like, hey, just kidding. Don't do that.
You guys, I wish you could have visuals right now because Michelle just like moved her hands as if she was peeking out behind a curtain. All like, oh, hey.
Hey.
Hey, it's me.
It's me. Hi. It was technically an angel of the Lord, but he's like, hey.
Oh, okay.
God just hit me up and told me to tell you, don't do the thing you were doing right now.
Stop that.
Abraham goes, oh, phew, thank God. And God says, whew, you know what?
You're welcome.
You're welcome. So God is super happy with Abraham. He goes, look, you obviously love the shit out of me if you're about to sacrifice Isaac to me. So you've proven yourself to me again. And now look over there. There's a ram stuck in some briars. You can sacrifice that ram instead.
And how's Isaac feeling at this point?
Probably shitty, I would guess.
Pissed off.
I would not be happy if someone almost sacrificed me.
Yeah, as soon as the ropes were untied or something, I'd be like, oh, weird. Somebody just paged me. Like, I gotta
go. I don't see a lamb yet. And why are you asking me to go sit on the altar? Yeah, hey, Dad, I'm gonna go. I hear Abimelech is pretty chill. I'm gonna go hang out with him. In the Bible, God keeps making a big deal of like, you are willing to give your only son for me. Your only son. Your only son. And John 3:16, usually if anyone has heard a Bible verse, they've heard John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that all who believed in him would not perish but have eternal life.
Wow. Yeah, that just rolled right off the tongue for you. That's crazy. Do you still have a bunch of Bible passages memorized?
Only a couple.
You knew that one though, like really well.
Do you ever go to Forever 21?
Ew.
You know the store?
Yeah.
So on their bags, at least they used to have John 3:16 printed on the bag.
Shut the fuck up. Did you know that In-N-Out is also... I fucking love In-N-Out. I mean, I don't care. Be fucking Christian. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, be Christian as long as you're not like doing hateful shit.
Yeah, no. Chick-fil-A is Christian and hateful.
Hoblob, unfortunately, Christian and hateful.
Oh, yeah. Ew. So God considered Isaac his son?
Oh, no, Isaac is Abraham's son, but God was saying, you were willing to give up your only son for me. This is like a parallel to how God was willing to give up his only son for all of us.
Later.
When
Jesus rolls up on the scene.
Yes, exactly. Shout out to my homie Jesus. But yeah, so because of all this, God blesses Isaac and the bloodline, and, that's why we got Judaism and all that.
What do you mean? And that's how we got Judaism. So that's where they split off? They think Isaac is the savior?
Muslim listeners, let me know if I'm getting any of this mixed up, because this is literally just what I learned in school and church. So holler at me if any of this sounds incorrect to you. But I've also talked to a lot of people about this and we're all on the same page. But you know what? I want to know if I'm saying anything wrong. But essentially, from the beginning of Genesis until now, it's all shared history. And then when God sends Hagar and Ishmael away and says through Ishmael is going to be, a blessed nation, that's where the followers of Islam see Ishmael as like the one that God's covenant flows through. So then they they start following that history line down. And at this point, God blesses Isaac and his bloodline. The Jewish people believe that that's who God's covenant flows through. And then Christianity comes from that. Yeah, so Christians, you keep following that Jewish bloodline. They just believe whatever
comes next.
Yeah, because Jesus was a Jew.
Okay, wait, so Christianity, up until this point, we're still with the Jewish storyline.
Yep, so you keep following the Jewish storyline.
This is where Islam splits off, but Judaism and Christianity are still on the same page with Isaac.
Yep,
okay,
because Jesus was a Jew.
I'm with it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so that splits off when basically people decide.
Yeah, and we'll get into that because some people like Jesus, some people don't. It's confusing.
Yeah, it's very confusing. But yeah, so we just keep following. So now we're just following Judaism.
Okay.
We're going to jump a few generations, keep following Isaac's bloodline down a couple generations until we get to...
And they're still just fucking each other's cousins and stuff, or have we expanded to new families?
Everyone's begatting everyone else. We get to this guy
brothers
and
his
his
sisters.
cousins and all that. This guy's name is Israel. So don't get confused because there's also like, our current country that is called Israel. But like the Israel I'm talking about is a man's name.
Okay.
Yeah, Israel has a bunch of sons, but his favorite son's name is Joseph. Have you heard of the movie / musical Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat?
Yes.
Starring Donny Osmond. Well, that's the story we're going to finish with.
Get the heck out of here. So that's a religious...
It's a religious thing. Mm-hmm.
Is it just based on this religious story, or is it like a real religious play? Maybe churches put it on and stuff.
They might. I don't know. I've never actually seen the musical. I'm just familiar with it, but it is based on this story from the Bible. So
interesting. Technicolor raincoats back in the...
Technicolor raincoat. Dreamcoats.
Whatever.
So Israel has a bunch of sons. He chooses Joseph as his favorite. And because Joseph is his favorite, he gives him a pretty coat with lots of colors in it. And this was the signal to everyone else that, hey, Joseph is the best son of all of the sons, which, as you can imagine, Joseph's brothers were not stoked.
Hold on.
You're like, I'm already mad. I'm like, I haven't even gotten to the fucked up. You're like, wait a minute.
So Isaac had a bunch of sons. Then he had a favorite one named Joseph. So to let Joseph and everybody else know that he was the favorite, he gave him a super colorful coat.
Yes. Also, Israel, not Isaac, but yes. He's like, you're my favorite son. Have this really nice coat.
Are they in the desert still?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, they were like by Egypt.
I'm dying.
This is, wow, I did not think the coat thing would be what got you this morning. That's what's really resonating. Like, tell me more about this coat.
It's really colorful. I'm imagining it as like a rainbow, just very flamboyant.
Yeah. I would go Google Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat and just see whatever Donny Osmond was wearing. It probably looked kind of like that.
Oh my God. Okay, hold on. I'm absolutely right. It's rainbow and flamboyant. I mean, honey, it's gorgeous.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful coat.
Fucking weird.
Amazing.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. That's the thing to me that I was like, well, that's fucking weird. That's so random. So far, we've got a lot of murder and rape and incest and like sacrifice and a lot of playing favorites. Like, wow.
Well, yeah.
A lot of favorites. And now we just have a fucking like a rainbow coat.
Yes, that's exactly what we have.
Tell me that's not super random and weird.
I mean, what else did he have to give him? 'Cause my coat is all I have to give. You're like, that's ridiculous. I'm like, is it? I guess I never really thought about it that way.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't listened to the Jesus Camp Borb yet, or Binge or Bust, if you're new, again, which is amazing, cool, but odd if you don't know the segments, but Binge or Bust, we did Jesus Camp, and the whole time that I was telling Michelle my story, I was like freaking out. I was like, can you fucking believe this shit? And she was like, yeah.
Yes, I can.
And I was like, why are you not freaking out with me? And she's like, because I was there, man. Michelle's just like, I guess whenever it comes to Bible or religious stuff, I freak out because it's new information to me. But for you, it's just tale as old as time.
Indeed.
Literally
in the beginning. All right. So Joseph's got his fancy coat,
which is wild.
Brothers kind of hate him because, and Joseph doesn't really like do anything to help himself. One day he goes up to his brothers and he says, hey guys, I had the craziest dream last night. We all had bundled these sheaves, which is just like a group of grain. Like they had bundles of grain. He's like, we'd all bundled these sheaves, and then my sheaf stood up all tall in the middle, and your sheaves all stood around my sheaf and bowed down to it. What do you think that means?
Do you guys think that means anything? I mean, that's kind of weird, right?
It's like super weird. Yeah, and the brothers go, oh, so you're saying we're supposed to bow down to you? Yeah. Then Joseph has another dream where he says that the sun, moon, and stars all worshipped him. And Israel, his dad, sarcastically was like, well, does that mean that me and your mom should be worshiping you? And Joseph's kind of,
It's like, well, now that you say it,
having these dreams.
and I am wearing this coat, so
I am the one in the coat. So, one day, Joseph's brothers are all out with their flocks, and Israel says, yo, Joseph, go find your brothers, see how they're doing. Joseph goes out, do. And this guy says, your brothers are in the city called Dothain. So Joseph goes and catches up with them, and the brothers see Joseph coming, probably because he's wearing that fucking coat. They see him coming, and
you spot him a mile away.
yeah, they're like, God, it's fucking Joseph. You found us. And so they decide, as he's walking toward them, they're all standing there plotting, like, all right, guys, this is it. We're going to kill him. We're just going to kill him.
I felt some murder was coming up.
Yeah.
I'm getting some good intuition with the Bible. I'm like, somebody's going to get sacrificed. A murder is about to go down. Yeah, I'm starting to feel it.
Some murder, some lies, some jealousy, some bribery, some covenants, all kinds of stuff. A lot of that. Yeah. So they're like, all right, we're going to murder him. We're going to tell dad he got eaten by an animal. Done. While they're all talking, this guy, Reuben, is just off to the side, listening in, overhears them. He walks up to him and goes, hey, guys.
Like the sandwich.
Yeah. Yes. That's probably what it's named after.
See? I mean, the Bible is literally everywhere.
The Bible has given us everything important.
In our society. It's insane. Reuben sandwiches.
Everything. They invented coleslaw or sauerkraut. All right. So Reuben overhears them. He goes up and says, hey, instead of just murdering him, you should just put him into this old pit over here and don't give him any water. And they go, oh, well, okay, we could do that. So the brothers.
Who is this Reuben and why is he butting in?
I
mean, it's okay. You can tell me
like,
to put
I'm pretty
it on
sure
the
he's
shelf.
just some guy. Yeah, it's just Reuben.
He's just like, you know what? I've been eavesdropping and I don't think your plan is great. I think you should let him suffer to death in a pit from dehydration.
And they go, bet, because they're Gen Z and that's what Gen Z would say.
Oh my God, I literally just found out what that meant. Emily told me. Hi, Emily. Emily, our research assistant. I was like, what does that mean?
Tell me more. Tell me what that means. So yeah, they shove him in the pit. They take his coat. And, on one hand, it would have been cool if they got to keep the coat, but
that'd be a big old giveaway. Dude.
Yeah, they just had his coat. They're like, we got to go. So they see this group of people coming through and they go, all right, we're going to sell Joseph as a slave to these people. Because, we've already got him in this pit. And mind you, but at this point, Reuben went to go do something. Reuben had to see a guy about a thing. And
he went to make a sandwich.
Yeah. And so the brothers are there. They see this group of people come in and they go, we're going to sell Joseph to these people and make a profit. That's way better than just leaving him in a pit, making no money. They sell him as a slave. Reuben comes back expecting to see Joseph in the pit, and the pit's empty, and Reuben is very confused. Meanwhile, the brothers take their money, they take Joseph's coat, they dip Joseph's coat in sheep's blood, and then they bring it home to their dad, Israel, and they say, hey, Dad, real sorry. Joseph got attacked and eaten by an animal, and here's his coat covered in blood to prove it.
Dude, did they shred it up a little bit or something? Because just it being covered in blood would be so not convincing. I think next time I'm feeling like I really want to make some boss moves, I'm just going to put on a rainbow colored coat and walk into a room and be like, so, hi. I'm the boss here now. I don't know if you guys see the coat.
Yeah. Do you see it? Look, I had a dream, and in my dream, you were all there, and we all had sheafs of grain. My sheaf's in the middle, and your sheaves all bowed down to it. I don't know. What do you think that means?
And I'm wearing this coat, so I would say, why don't you go ahead and get me a fucking coffee?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Me, coat. You, no coat.
Coffee on the brain.
Well, Ashley, that's how you end up in a pit and then sold to a group of random people.
Yeah, maybe I'll skip the coat. I don't want that.
Don't make everyone jealous. All right.
Okay, so they bring the coat home. It's all bloody. They're like, sorry, Dad.
Israel's inconsolable. He takes off all his clothes and he puts sackcloth on his loins. And, because if you're in mourning, you can't wear comfy clothes. You have to be itchy and uncomfortable because you're sad.
Oh,
and,
is that true?
Yeah, it's like a thing. Yeah. Sackcloth, they do it.
Okay, I was like,
it's basically
wait, he
burlap.
stripped down because he was so upset? I mean, when I get upset, I'm just like, clothes off.
You ever seen the movie Four Christmases?
Yeah.
In the scene where the little kid gets upset because he finds out Santa isn't real and he takes off all his clothes and runs around outside. And the mom's like, oh, when he gets upset, he takes to streaking.
No. know, but that's funny. It sounds like this guy does
It
too.
sounds like it's like this guy. All right. So he's upset, but meanwhile, Joseph is still alive and in Egypt. And that, just might be helpful to remember.
Joseph, who's now a slave
Who's now a slave in Egypt
without a coat.
without a coat, coatless.
He's a coatless slave in Egypt. Okay. And dad at home, Israel, is streaking and putting on burlap underwear.
Yep.
Okay. Because obviously Joseph was his favorite.
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
I'm so with this. Okay.
We'll wrap up the book of Genesis. This is our last story from Genesis. We get into Exodus next. Yeah, finally. It only took 4 episodes.
Does that mean that we're getting to book number 2 of 66 next week?
It does. 4 episodes later. Granted, some of these books will have like one story that's interesting in them. So they're not all this long and dense. Genesis is just a good in.
It's been 84 years.
God, we're going to be in our 50s still doing this series.
Somebody was like, I hope you guys still keep doing the Bible. And I was like, oh, we'll keep doing the Bible. We've got lots of material.
So much.
Oh, it's my favorite. My monthly Bible lessons. It's legit.
So there's this other guy in Isaac's lineage. So we go a few generations down and we have our friend Judah. And Judah has a wife named Shua. And they've got their 3 sons, Onan, and Shelah.
These are terrible names.
They're not great.
Shelah?
Shelah.
That's a copy of my name.
Shelah. A little bit, yeah. So finds this wife named Tamar. And Tamar really triggered you, huh?
Sorry, you know that she's like a huge part of the Black Dahlia story that I'm telling right now, right?
No.
Oh my God. Are you going to like tell us about Tamar? I'm guessing maybe not today.
I'm about to tell you about her, yes.
Oh my God. It just came out last week, you guys. Hodel Horror, episode 3, goes into Tamar and Fauna. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. I'm freaking out. Okay.
Wow. I can't wait.
If anybody's confused, go listen to Black Dahlia Breakdown. I renamed it. Go listen to Black Dahlia Breakdown because it's amazing. And if you're like, why did Ashley just almost have a heart attack when Michelle said Tamar? It's because I found out doing a little bit of extra research that Tamar was a story from the Bible that's insanely fucked up. Please go ahead.
So yeah, takes Tamar as a wife, but God says, you know what? Kind of wicked, and just slays him. We got away from smiting and now we're on to slaying.
So what is slaying? I feel like that's
it's the same. He kills him. I don't know what the difference is, but it's a different verb. Maybe we have a new scribe.
It feels like it has to do with a knife for some reason, or like a sword.
Yeah, but it's God doing it. I think he's kind of like dead.
Lightning or something.
So Judah goes, well, fuck. Okay, Tamar, look, I'm sorry that didn't work out. Here, take my other son, Onan, and Onan will put a baby in you to, honor my son and give him an heir, and like you guys get married, and then that way you're not just a widow hanging around my family. So they try to take care of the ladies.
They sure do.
Yeah. So Judah says to Onan, all right, you got to marry Tamar. You got to put a baby in her because never got to, and we got to continue his family line. So, do what you want for the rest of the time, but the first baby is actually Ur's baby technically. And Onan.
Oh, what?
Because never got to have an heir. So part of the thing.
Heir.
An heir to
I'm going to stay with smiting because I don't care if the book has moved to slaying. Smiting sounds cooler.
Yeah, that's fair.
Didn't he smite because he was not good?
Yeah, Judah just knows that this is the custom. It's custom that, all right, he died before you could have a baby. I'll give you my next son and make a baby with him in Ur's name. And so,
oh my God, I just realized, when people like make funny bets like, oh, I bet you my firstborn child. Again, biblical reference.
Oh yeah, lots of firstborn children happening here. Wait till we get to Passover. So Judah tells Onan, hey, go bang your former sister-in-law, now wife, and make a baby for And Onan is not into that idea. So he goes, they are having sex. And instead of, impregnating her, he pulls out and, quote, spreads his seed on the floor.
Rude.
Yeah. So I think this is the first recorded case of the pull-out method. Pretty sure.
Which, you guys, any of
it's
our
not reliable
Gen Z listeners, I think Millennials, we've learned our lesson by now. But Gen Z listeners, not a viable method. IUD is what I recommend personally, all the way home. But
Consult with your healthcare provider. Just do something. Don't just
I'm not
trust.
a doctor. Yeah.
So God is pissed because this is not cool. So God looks at Onan.
No.
He says, all right, not cool, my guy. Slain.
You're done too. So that's 2 out of 3 sons just smitten down.
Yeah. So Tamar goes to Judah and goes, all right, what do you got for me next? They've got the third son, Shelah, but he's too young right now. So Judah says, all right, just like chill. And when Shelah gets old enough, then you guys can get married and it's fine. So Tamar's like, okay, I will do that. Shelah grows up. Shua, Judah's wife, dies. So Judah's all alone. Shelah's grown up, but Judah's kind of worried because, first 2 husbands of Tamar are dead now. So he doesn't really want that to happen to his last son. So he does not hit Tamar up and ask her if she wants to marry his third son now. He's just kind of hoping the whole thing blows over. However, it does not.
Tamar's been waiting.
Yeah, waiting around, just remaining a widow in their house, hanging out.
Oh, she lives with them.
No, sorry. She went back to her father's house. So
Okay.
she goes back to her dad's
So
house.
she's just at Pop's house, biding time to get babied up.
Finally, she kind of hears about what's happening and that, hey, she was dead. Shelah is old enough. No one's married him off to me. So she puts on what are her widow's clothes, but it includes a veil over her face. And apparently back in this day, the biblical word that they use is harlot. So just to get a little old school on ya. But, today we would call sex worker. So
No. Somebody can just be slutty or hoary, and that's fine, you guys.
it's true. She was specifically dressing to look like a sex worker.
Oh, to look like a sex worker.
Yeah, that was her goal.
Okay, I thought God was just saying, look, she's being slutty.
No, she
Take
was
back
dressed
the word slut, you guys. Be a slut if you want to. Fuck everybody. Be safe.
Be safe. Don't trust the flow method. So she dresses up like a sex worker, covers her face, goes and kind of stands around where she knows Judah's going to be. And Judah's pretty lonely at this time. Wife died. He's got nobody hanging out with him. And so he sees this woman, veiled woman, and he says, hey, how much money is it to come in unto you? And then she's like,
Really quick, you said that she dressed like a widow.
no, it's the biblical words that are confusing. She took her widow's clothes off and put her harlot clothes on.
Oh, because as a widow of these 2 dudes, she had to dress like a widow.
Like a widow. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I was incorrect. She took her widow's clothes off. She put harlot clothes on, including a veil over her
Got
face.
it.
I misspoke.
Gotcha.
Yep. So she's dressed like a sex worker, and Judah says, hey, how much money is it to come in unto you? And she says, hey, it's this much money to come in unto me. And then he comes in unto her.
He knows her.
He knows her.
He gets to know her.
He gets to know her for the low price of a ring, a bracelet, and a staff.
A staff. Isn't that like an animal?
No, like Jafar. Jafar has a staff. Or Gandalf.
Oh, like something they used to guide sheep.
Yeah.
Guide sheep type of thing. Right. Okay.
So, he gives her that stuff. He comes in under her. She gets impregnated. And 3 months later, he finds out that that woman that I thought was a sex worker, oh, no, she's actually my daughter-in-law. And I impregnated her, which means that I am kind of like these children's dad, but also kind of their grandpa. So that's a cool Bible thing.
I feel like there's a fucking song about that too.
Like, I'm my own grandpa.
Yes. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. So Tamar tricked him into being a daddy / granddaddy.
So at first, before he finds out she's pregnant, all he knows is she tricked him into sleeping with her, and Judah does not like being tricked, so he wants her to be burnt to death.
Totes. Crime
Yeah.
fits the punishment.
Punishment fits the crime, yeah.
Whatever.
So yeah, he wants to burn her, and then she goes, but wait, I'm 3 months pregnant, and he goes, fuck.
With
Okay.
your babies, grandbabies, nonetheless.
And so now Judah is father and kind of grandfather to Tamar's twin sons. And, there's some more stuff in Genesis, but nothing super fucked up. So that is where we will end our episode today. And that is where we will end the book of Genesis.
Wait, is that all that Tamar does? Is that she...
That's all we've got in Genesis. She might do other stuff.
Maybe she does something in the next book? I thought she... Okay, hold on. I have to tell you this.
Okay. Because I'm like, you got really excited about Tamar, but I don't think...
Okay, so in the Black Dahlia Breakdown TSFUP season, one of the main people in the story story is a woman named Tamar. She was sexually abused and impregnated by her father, but he named her Tamar after this poem by Robinson Jeffers, who's pretty intense. But according to Wikipedia, the story makes references to the biblical book of Samuel and deals with themes of nature and corruption. Hold on. The story is inspired by the book of Samuel in the Old Testament, especially 2 Samuel 13, which tells the story of Amnon's rape of his sister Tamar. So is there a different Tamar later?
Oh, there must be.
Are we in the book of Samuel right now?
No, we are in Genesis still. Samuel is...
And we haven't heard of...
Book 9.
We haven't heard of Amnon yet.
No, we got a little ways to go. So there's a different Tamar.
Okay. Wow. Look at that. Okay.
Another Tamar. Tamar was like the Julie of the day. Classic.
Well, as usual, you left me smiling and satisfied.
I'm so glad. That's what she said.
That is what I said.
I'm just glad that we are done with Genesis because I'm ready for a new book. And Exodus has like one of the coolest stories, which is how Moses led the slaves out of Egypt.
Cool. I'm also really excited for when God's like, hey, cut that baby in half. See who the real mom is.
Ugh.
That story's crazy.
Yeah, that one is, God, when does that happen? It's in the first 5 books. It might be in Exodus.
Okay. Yeah, that's a wild one. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for all of your hard biblical theologian studies that you're doing for all of our sake.
Thank you. I would literally never call myself a theologian, but I do have some knowledge. And
You've
remember,
got the
friends,
knowledge.
I've got a little bit of knowledge, but also, yeah, remember, friends, if I said anything that sounds different than the Bible story, the way you interpret the Bible stories, please remember that, like, it's how I was taught the Bible because everyone's churches teach it a little differently. And so I'm going off of what the word says and what, God, 9 or 10 years in evangelical, or I don't know, 7 or 8 years, however long. I don't even know anymore. Like 13 to 19. Okay, 6 years in evangelical church and Christian college and aggressive Bible study taught me. So,
But also one of our
Ryan
research assistant / editors, Ryan,
was going to be a priest.
was going to be.
Yeah, not is. Yeah, was. Not current. That would be weird.
That'd be a strange overlap. Yeah. But he's bringing in some Catholic knowledge so that we're, a little bit balanced. And obviously, the entire Bible is fully up to interpretation. I'm sure you could go to 100 churches and one day hear the same fucking passage and hear it interpreted in, 50 different ways plus.
Oh, yeah.
So,
you know what? You got to give the people new content, as you know.
yeah, yes.
Yes.
So thank you guys for being patrons. I think
you.
there's like fucking 129 of you now. Are you joking?
That's literally insane.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy.
What?
Thank you for everything you do, and we love you.
We love you. Have a good day.
I'll see you
And
next time.
peace out.
Bye.
Bum 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 bum. That's fucked up. I'm so fucked up. Can't you see? It's just really fucked. That's fucked up.